of the more tedious math, I wanted to share this quote because I stumbled upon it and I thought it was just so lovely. Mathematics is the language in which God has written the universe. The universe. Galileo, Galilei. Mathematics is the language in which God has written the universe. I love this so much. So, today, or tonight, I wanted to do some division. And this might take you back to elementary school, or you might look at this and go, uh-oh. I don't remember how to do this. I've been relying on my phone calculator or my computer calculator to calculate this for me. It doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter. In fact, the actual outcome of this video, or our final answers for these problems, matter so little that I'm going to start by giving us all a sticker. Just for existing. Just for you being you. So, we'll just see where we get. We'll just try some division problems. But for now, and just for the next 5 or 10 minutes, we're just here with the math, just the math, and everything else can fall away. So whether we are right or wrong, it really doesn't matter. Okay, so let's try this problem. Divided by 8. is what number? What is the largest number we can get? A digit specifically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. What is the largest one? Where that multiplied by 8 is less than 18. 8 times 1 is 8. Yes, that is less than 18. 8 times 2 is 16. Yes, that is less than 18. 8 times 3 is 24. Nope, that's too many. So, we'll take the 2. So then 2 times 8 is 16. And then we'll subtract 18 minus 16. 8 minus 6 is 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. 18 minus 16 is 2. So then I bring down the 4. 8 goes into 24. How many times? 3. Yes. Yes, very good. 3 times 8 is 24. And I subtract, and I get 0. So there's no remainder. So our answer is 23. Good job. Very good. Let's try another one. One nine four four divided by 9. Does 9 go into 1? Nope. I guess technically you could put a 0 there, but you don't need to. Because here, for instance, 0, 2, 3, that doesn't mean anything. You could just put a 23. So 9 doesn't go into 1. Does 9 go into 19? Yes. What is the largest number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Such that that number times 9 is less than 19. Do you have a guess? Do you want to just guess something? 3. Well, let's see. 3 times 9 is 27. That's a good guess. Just a little too many, right? How about 2? 2 times 9 is 18. So you write that here and you subtract. 19 minus 18 is 1. You can do 9 minus 8 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Then we'll bring down this 4. 1 at a time. Just 1 at a time. So what number? How many times does 9 go into 14? How many complete times? Just once, right? 1 times 9 is 9. And I subtract. What is 14 minus 9? 14, 13, 12. this next 4. How many times does 9 go into 54? Do you remember your times tables? 6. Very good. 6 times 9 is 54. Then you subtract, and you get 0 remainder, because there are no more digits here, and it goes in perfectly evenly. So that means 1944, 1944 divided by 9 is 216, and you don't have a fraction, and you don't have decimals. So it's just 216. That means if I took 1944 jelly beans and I distributed them into little groups of 9 jelly beans, I would have 216 groups of 9 each. And coincidentally, if I redistributed those 1944 jelly beans into groups of 216, I would have 9 groups of 216, or 216 groups of 9. Pretty cool, right? Okay. So, let's try one with 0. So, 1, 5, 2, 4 divided by 3. So, if we were to try to divide this, notice here we've been lining everything up, right? So since 9 didn't go into 1, when I wrote the 2, it's above the 19. So keep that in mind. 3, does 3 go into 1? No. But then we look at 15. How many times does 3 go into 15? 5, indeed. So 5 times 3 is 15. And 15 minus 15 is 0. So then I bring down the 2. So the 0, 2 is just 2. Does 3 go into 2? Or 3 goes into 2 how many times? 0 times actually, right? Because 1 times 3 is 3, and that's too many. So when we ask how many times, we mean how many full times, how many complete times, not halves or 2/3, no fractions here. So 0 whole times. So 0 times 3 is 0. And then we get 2 minus 0 is 2. And the 0 just goes away. You bring down this 4. How many times does 3 go into 24? 8. Very good. Because 8 times 3 is 24. Nice. So this is why it's so important to put the 0 if it's in between your number. If it's at the start of your number, that doesn't matter, because it's like a placeholder. But in between it matters, because 58 is a different number than 508. So 508. Very good. Alright, let's tackle a 2-digit, 1 double-digit. because 1 times 21 is 21, which is less than 31. But what about 2? So now we have to think, what is 21 times 2? So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. 42. So that's too many, right? 42 is bigger than 31. So just once, and 1 times 21 is 21. Then I subtract. 1 minus 1 is 0. 3 minus 2 is 1. 31 minus 21 is 10. Then I pull down the 5. How many times does 21 go into 105? And this is where we might have to guess and check a little bit. There are a few little tricks that we could just try. So you can kind of estimate. So instead of trying 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4, 21 is kind of close to 20, and 105 is kind of close to 100, and 20 goes into 105 times. 5 times, right? So you can try 5, and if you are quick with the mental math, you'll see that this goes into this exactly 5 times. And if you kind of knew that ahead of time, you could kind of look at the ones and say, oh, well, 1 times 5 is 5. So if you know ahead of time that there's not going to be a remainder, you can just try something like that. But most of the time you don't. So estimating is a good idea. Estimating. So let's try it. So let's say we thought, okay, well, 20 goes into 105 times. So let's multiply. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Looky. They're the same. So exactly 5. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. So it's 0 remainder. But again, we keep everything lined up and pretty. So, fantastic. And that's it. So it's the same, but we kind of just need to practice guessing and checking a little bit. So, I hope that you're asleep by now. But for the stubborn minds, let's see, let's try this. 40,768. And you can put that comma if you want to, but don't confuse it with the decimal. So I'm just gonna, I guess I'll just not put the comma there, but you can recognize that it's 40,768 divided by 52. Wow, yikes. Okay, but same method, right? So does 52 go into 4? No, not like a whole time, right? What about 52 into 40? Still nope. And that's totally okay. So now let's try 407. How many times does 52 go into 407? So let's try our little estimation trick, shall we? So 52 is close to 50, and 407 is kind of close to 400. So 50 into 400 is 8 times, right? Because 5 times 8 is 40, and then you have an extra 0 for both of them. So let's try 8. If we were to try 8, 52 times 8 is 2 times 8 is 16. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 1 is 416. 416. So close to 407, but that's still too many. So let's try 7. 52 times 7 minus 4 is 3. And then we have a 0 minus 6. We gotta carry that, right? We have to carry. So if we borrow from, or not carry, we're borrowing for subtraction. I borrow from the 4 to get a 10. 10 minus 6 is 43, 4, and then 43. And because we borrowed, that becomes a 3 minus 3 is 0. So we don't need anything. Let's pull down this 6. 436 divided by 52. Well, we actually already did this. We can kind of take this 8 here, because 52 times 8 is 416, which is less than 436. And we could try 9, but we don't need to, because 9 times 50 is 450, which is already too big. So 9 times 52 is definitely too big. So we'll take 8, and we get 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 1 is 416. Subtract 0, 2. Let's pull down this 8. And let's try our trick. How many times does 52 go into 208? Well, this is kind of close to 50. This is kind of close to 200. So I would try 4. And 52 times 4 is 2 times 4 is 8. 4 times 5 is 20. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yay. So I'll put a 4 right there. And so 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 5 is 20. So hooray. Hooray. So 784. Nice job. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So 40,768 divided by 52 is 784. So I guess now we can check with the calculator, a basic calculator. So 184 divided by 8, 23, 23, very, very, very good. 200 and, nope, 1,944 divided by 9, 216. Nice. 1524 divided by 3 equals 508. And coincidentally, but not if you multiply that, 508 times 3 is 1524. And then we have 315 divided by 21. 15. 15, 15, 15. Very nice. And then, dun, da, 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 40,768 divided by 52. 784. Awesome, awesome, awesome.